That's good.
Yeah, welcome to the DFS Build MLB edition. I'm Kevin Roberts, joined with Taylor Smith. We are getting ready to go over this DraftKings main slate. It is poopy out there, no doubt about it. A 5-game slate turns to a 4-game slate thanks to the Boston game basically being eradicated from the slate. But hey, there's money to be made, and we're going to help you do just that. Handed out early slate picks earlier today. Carlos Rodon, he's been good, so that's all I can tell you for that so far. Still waiting on the hitting as we go here. But the goal here is to help you win. 4-game slate, a little bit tougher to navigate just because you kind of have to have everything hit right. But we're going to point you to the pitchers we like the most and kind of talk over the stacks. If anything we do here helps you out, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Subscribing to the channel helps us out a lot, and it also keeps you alerted to future videos just like this. Plus, we cover other sports like NFL, UFL, NBA, WNBA. Basically anything that we personally play ourselves, we will potentially put out videos and certainly offer core plays and advice in our Patreon, just $5.99 a month to take advantage of that. You get all of that for just $5.99, plus you get access to our Discord. So come and join our community, and let's start winning some money. All right, let's get to it here. If I can find it. All right, so the first game here, we have Tanner Bybee taking on the Tigers in Detroit. It's not really the best spot. Bybee is cheap at 7.8K. He does come in with the second best pitcher projection. I don't think he grades out very well here. Not really striking a lot of people out on the year, and against lefties, things just look really bad. The Tigers do have some power, and they specifically do have some lefties to throw at him. So I don't really want to do the Bybee thing. I feel like if he's going to be 20% owned, I'm going to go more towards Tigers or just kind of getting away from Bybee. I do like Flaherty. He is very owned. And certainly because of that, I'm going to look at the Guardians as a hedge stack a little bit. But Flaherty, to me, is the top pitcher on the board here. It is a bad slate for pitching, but he is the best option.
Yeah, it's a bad slate for everything, including playing. So keep that in mind. But he is the best pitcher. It's a fine spot. Like Cleveland doesn't strike out a ton, as we know. But, he is the best pitcher, 30% strikeout rate or so this season. Really don't see any reason not to do it. Like, I would be less interested if we had the Boston game, which does have a couple of potential alternatives. Like, if the game clears up, then I would have less interest in Flaherty. But the way things look now, I'm getting a lot of Flaherty. I'm getting a lot of Bybee. I don't really know what's going on with Bybee. His strikeout rate's like 10% lower this year than it was last year. But there are some Ks in the Detroit lineup. And some power. So I see getting to both sides of that, like playing Bybee in a single entry is probably something I would lean toward doing along with Flaherty. But I don't hate a Detroit mini stack, and then I'm not going to really bother with Cleveland. Like, I know Flaherty's going to be really owned, but I'd rather just play that because the rest of the pitching is quite suspect.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely very much on Flaherty. I just think I'll get a sprinkling of Guardians just because he can be had from the left side. It isn't really a great park for pitching, and it's a tiny slate. So if Flaherty bombs, like, it's over right away. So you might as well have a little bit of Guardians action in there. I am trying to take a couple stands, though. Like, one of the big stands is I'm just not going to be on Bybee. So I don't mind the Tigers, but also not like super excited to pick on him necessarily either. The best or one of the best spots of the night is the Brewers at PNC Park taking on the Pirates. They will face who are they facing? Burrow, I think. Yeah, Mike Burrows. And then on the other side, we have Carlos Rodriguez for the Brewers taking on the Pirates. Right now, Milwaukee comes in with the second highest implied run total of the slate, which kind of tells you how bad the slate is. Now, they do have a nice implied run total at like 4.6 or something, and the wind is blowing out at PNC Park. But this is traditionally a pitcher-friendly park, and the Brewers are not like some massive power team. That said, like, it is what we're dealing with here. These are the 4 games we have, and out of the 4 games, the Brewers do look really good. So I'm in on the Brewers, not super excited about the Pirates, and I don't really want to get to either pitchers here.
Yeah, I think Milwaukee might be going to the bullpen game, so certainly really nothing for them on the pitching side. The Brewers are a good stack. Burrows is one of the weaker pitchers on the board with a wide reverse platoon split, which isn't great for Milwaukee since most of their better hitters are lefty. But like Contreras, Churio, Hoskins, that's a pretty good little mini stack there. Don't love righty power in this ballpark generally. but you can't really pick your spots on this slate. You kind of just have to play the best plays. And Milwaukee on paper looks good. I could see getting to Burrows if the Brewers are like mega chalk, just because he's cheap. He's not horrible, not supposed to be horrible at least. So I think Burrows is viable just because he's cheap and the slate's really bad otherwise, but more inclined to get to the Brewers in this one.
Yep, agreed. Okay, so we can skip the Boston game just because it's in red and is not expected to be a go. Moving on, we got the Nationals hosting the Braves. AJ Smith-Shawver taking on Washington. Like the best thing the Nats have to throw at him is their lefty power, which is good, but he kills lefties. Like he's striking them out like crazy. He's not giving up power. He's not really walking them that much. So like if the Nats are going to have success here, it's probably going to come from the right side, and then maybe that opens things up for like James Wood and CJ Abrams. Shawver's going to be pretty owned. He is 9.8K. Like there's a lot to not like about him, but as far as like the matchup and safety is concerned, I do think he's a pretty good play. I think on a bigger slate, I wouldn't even look at him at 9.8K in this spot. But I do have interest in him. I think the Nats are okay for leverage if he's going to be owned. I think the last time I checked is like 30%. So I'm okay with that. I'm much more interested in the bats on the other side of this game. The Braves get Trevor Williams. We know Trevor Williams can be a bit of a sad sack, specifically from the left side. No strikeouts, a lot of power being given up, and the Braves do have 3 pretty darn good lefties, and then you can complete the stack with Austin Riley and the other righties. So I do like Shawver okay, and I really like the Braves.
Yeah, Atlanta should be the chalkiest stack on the slate. I don't really have an issue with it. Williams just a very underwhelming pitcher. He's not like gas can. He's more on the average side of bad, but still bad. So lefties, like you said, stand out a lot. I think Williams is playable just because it's a small slate. The Braves are going to be chalk. He's cheap. He's not horrible, like I said. I had interest in him yesterday before that game got axed, so I don't mind that tonight. Smith-Shawver, wildly expensive. I think he's been a little bit lucky so far this season with his results. Like last year, he was completely horrible, and this year he's turned it around quite a bit. So like maybe he's just a young player who's improved, but that's the kind of chalk I don't mind targeting on a small slate with bats. The Nationals do have power from the left side. He's been good against lefties, like you said, but he is due for a little bit of regression. Like his Sierra is about a 1.5 higher than his ERA. He's not really a ground ball guy either, so he should be susceptible to power. I just lean Washington lefties because that's where the good hitters are. They don't really have a lot of righties you want to play. Alex Call is actually the only one in the projected lineup as of now. So I don't mind a Washington stack. Don't mind a Braves stack. Don't mind either pitcher. I think you can kind of play any angle in this game.
Yeah, he's pulling like 25% ownership right now. So like on a 4-game slate, I think that's enough that you can get leverage with the Nats. And I do like that for like tournaments, if he's going to be owned like that, to kind of go just say like bucket and just go play James Wood and Abrams. And they have like 6 guys, I think it's 7 actually, who could be batting from the left side. I think 2 are switch hitters, so perhaps they hit from the right side to try to swing this a little bit. But it is a pretty good tournament strategy on a small slate here if he's going to pick up like a quarter of the pitcher ownership. I don't hate it. I even in my write-up on Patreon, I do like the Nats a little bit, especially since he's 9.8K. Like I'm not really excited to play him. That said, though, like if things go as they've been going, it's a pretty damn good matchup for him with all those lefty bats coming at him because he's been crushing lefties. Last game of the night here, we have the Astros hosting the Mariners. George Kirby, is this his debut of the year? All right, that's interesting. I did not know he was out the whole time. That's crazy. So obviously he's going to be pretty limited, I'd imagine. Taking on the Astros, he's 8.8K. Don't love that. I like the park. I like George Kirby, but I don't love the likely limit and the Astros who do not strike out that much. So not really in on Kirby. On the other side, you have Lance McCullers, only 6.5K, taking on the Mariners. The Mariners kind of project pretty well because McCullers has not been great. But we know McCullers is a good pitcher. It is a pitcher-friendly park. Mariners do have strikeouts in the lineup, and he's only 6.5. So I understand targeting him with the Mariners if that's what you want to do, but I actually like McCullers quite a bit. Famous last words.
I will not be joining you on that one. It's a guy who's been essentially out for 3 years with an injury. He's come back. He's walked more guys than he struck out. The strikeouts have completely dried up. It's small sample. It's like 3 games, but injuries mount over time. He's historically a good pitcher, but I don't really see any reason to believe, based on his current numbers, that he's going to turn it around all of a sudden. Like, he can still get ground balls potentially, but I would just rather stack against him. I don't think the Mariners are going to be unowned at all. So it is what it is, but I do think they'll be lower owned than like Atlanta or Milwaukee. So pretty good spot. Lefties in particular, McCullers, I think historically they were split. So you might want like Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, but certainly getting to Raleigh, Crawford, Polanco, Tellez in full stacks. And then Kirby should be around 80 pitches in his debut. Houston, an exclusively right-handed lineup. Kirby, historically a very good pitcher with elite control. Not amazing strikeout stuff, but good enough. And on a slate without a lot of amazing pitching talent, I'd rather pay 88 for him than 98 for Smith-Shawver. So Kirby I like, Mariners I like, nothing else.
Yeah, like this isn't me like buying into Lance McCullers having like a resurgency all of a sudden. I just think like a lot of things do work to his advantage in this spot. The Mariners do strike out a lot too, and he's only 6.5K on a bad 4-game slate, so that's why I'm kind of in on him. Not in on him being good, I'm just in on him surviving this slate in particular. All right, so let's wrap things up with your top stack of the night and the number one arm you want to build around. I'm pretty sure we're aligned here. I don't think that's just tough on this slate. There's like not okay. How about this? Do that, but then also, what's your favorite way to actually get different? And because I assume you're going to eat a lot of the good chalk here. What are you doing to get different though?
I don't really think the chalk is good chalk. Like, Flaherty is okay chalk. It's not really a good spot. But he is 8,300, so you're not necessarily paying an SP1 price for him. I think pairing him and Kirby's fine. I think Seattle is my kind of conviction stack against McCullers, and a Houston bullpen that's certainly not what it used to be. And then Washington against Smith-Shawver. Like, if Smith-Shawver is going to be kind of the default SP2 to go with Flaherty, I'd just rather play against him with Washington stacks.
Yeah, I'm like totally fine. I like those approaches for sure. I think I'm very okay with eating the Braves chalk. The Brewers chalk gives me a little cause for pause. Like, I don't mind it. I think as far as the slate goes, they are a logically decent stack to target. But I'd be pretty okay with playing any of the Braves. Maybe I'd still be okay with the Brewers, but that would be one I'd shy away from a little bit. The other big thing I've already kind of said is I'm out on Bybee on this slate. So I think targeting the Tigers and or just being like very underweight on him is another thing I'd do to get a little bit different. I guess I'm going to be different with Lance McCullers / not really being fully in on the Mariners either. So hopefully some of that helps you out. You can also get more finalized picks and stacks if you hit up our Patreon. If this video helped you in any way, hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and good luck.